Have you ever had one of those days where you feel like you're just on autopilot? Or maybe you felt like some invisible force is steering your decisions and you're not entirely sure what it is. Well, we're going to dive into how an ancient text, the Bhagavad Gita, explains these very forces in a way that is, believe it or not, incredibly relevant to our lives right here, right now.
Okay, first things first, we've got to reframe a key word here: sacrifice. When you hear that, you probably think of some huge, dramatic ritual. Forget that. For our purposes, think of sacrifice as every single bit of energy you put out into the world. It's your work, your focus, the conversations you have. Heck, it's the very act of living itself.
So, that brings up a really big question, doesn't it? If your whole life is this act of pouring out energy, what's guiding it? What determines the quality of that energy? Is it something you're doing consciously and with purpose? Or is it just a habit, something you do without even thinking?
Well, the Gita's answer comes down to three fundamental forces or qualities called the gunas. The best way to think about them is like these invisible currents that are always flowing through us, shaping our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. Understanding them, it's kind of like getting a user manual for your own mind. All right, let's break these down. First up, you've got sattva. This is that feeling of harmony, of clarity. It's when you're in the zone or a state of flow, and everything just feels right. Then there's rajas. This is pure passion and action. It's that drive, that hustle, that constant chase for the next goal. It's what so much of our modern world runs on. And finally, you have tamas. This is the force of inertia, that heavy feeling. It's when you're on autopilot, just mindlessly scrolling through your phone or going through the motions. But here's the real kicker. They can all trap you. Rajas binds us in this endless cycle of desire and burnout. Tamas gets us stuck in apathy. And even sattva, that beautiful, clear state, can trap you in an attachment to perfection, making you afraid to mess up. To really get a handle on this, let's zoom in on the one that can really trap us in a life without any real purpose: tamas. This is that force of inertia, the path of least resistance. This is basically a life lived on autopilot. It's when you do something just because everyone else is doing it, or because, well, you just have to do something to get by. As you can see from this quote, there's no inner fire here, no real guiding principle. It's just a mechanical routine.
And you can see the difference laid out so clearly here. On one side, you've got life as just a routine, always taking the easiest path, but on the other, it's about acting from a place of inner alignment and consciously engaging with whatever life throws at you. It really is the difference between just existing and truly living.
So, here it is, the million-dollar question. How do we actually make that shift? How do we steer our daily energy away from that autopilot of tamas, or that frantic, restless energy of rajas, and move more towards the clear-minded harmony of sattva?
Now, the great thing is this ancient wisdom isn't just some abstract theory. It actually gives us some really concrete practices for our modern lives. Let's look at 3 super powerful steps to make this happen. All right, first, witness. Just observe your inner state, your thoughts, your emotions, without judging them. Imagine you're just watching a movie. You are the one watching, not the movie itself. Second, and this one is a total game changer, respond, don't react. Most of our lives are just knee-jerk reactions to things. The practice here is to create a tiny conscious pause between something happening and how you act. That pause gives you the power to choose. And third, detach. Give your absolute all to what you're doing, but let go of what happens next. Release your attachment to the results. And just to be super clear, the goal isn't to get rid of passion or rest completely. Rajas and tamas are totally natural parts of being human. The whole idea is to consciously rebalance these forces so that the clear, harmonious quality of sattva becomes your main guide, not the only state you're ever in. And this is where it all leads. This path of conscious action, of doing your best and then letting go, it leads to something really profound. A deep, unshakable inner peace. It's a peace that doesn't depend on whether you win or lose, but comes from the act of living itself. So this isn't just some nice philosophy to think about. It's a practice for your very next moment. Your next chance to choose isn't tomorrow or next week. It's in your very next action, your next conversation, your next thought. Is it going to be mechanical, on autopilot? Will it be restless, driven by desire? Or will it be conscious and clear? The choice, right now, is yours.